Hi guys, today I wanted to share with you something not really related to crafting or planning or any kind of DIYing whatsoever. Today I wanted to share with you my book haul. I went to a book fair here in Belgium, in Antwerp, and I met all my favorite authors and got their autographs. Well, all of them except two authors that I like, and that's Nikki French, and I will be going again this Friday to get their autographs. But except those two, I got all of the authors that I wanted to get a signature from, and even one extra that I didn't plan for. So I'm going to show you my books. Mind you, the titles are in Dutch, and the covers maybe also a little bit different, but I will post all of the pictures that I took on the book fair of the authors, and all of the covers that correlate with the books that I'm going to share with you on my website. I will post the link down below, so go to the link and you will see all of the corresponding correlating I'm sorry, I can't find the word, the books that I'm going to share with you. So let's dive in. So the first one that I want to share with you, I'm sorry for the crinkling of the paper, is this one. And this one is a book from Nicholas Sparks, and I love him from The Notebook. I discovered him from The Notebook, and since then I've been reading his novels and I love them all. It's kind of I don't know, I love to read them with a mug of tea and something sweet, and it always makes me feel better. And I love that in books, in movies. I mean, we really, in our society we have so much negative stuff, from the news to negative people in our lives, to naysayers and critics and stuff like that. But sometimes it's just great to get a book or a lot of them that are just really, really positive and really, really I don't know, just will spark joy in you. Although it is kind of like a struggle story, but I think it will be alright at the end. And I wanted to tell you the story about the cover. So Nicholas Sparks told us this story. He first did a signing, and I will show you. He signed my book. He first did the signing, and then he spoke about the book, and what he told about the cover is such a marvelous story. I mean, he tells it much better, but I will tell it to you anyway. So this is the cover based on a true story with him and his girls. So he has like 5 kids. That's a lot, because I have one, and I must say 5 is a lot by any standards. And he has, I think, 2 boys and 3 girls. I might be mistaken. And he went out with his I think 3 girls only to the movies. And he got there 1 hour early, and he lives in a small town, and the theater is really small and not really crowded at all. And they get there an hour early, and there is just nobody there, right? And he says, like, he has the choice to go back home, or stay and go back home with 20 minutes and then go back, or just stay for 1 hour in the empty cinema. So he decides to stay at the theater, and they're playing like 1950s music, and so he and his 3 daughters decide to dance, and they were dancing, he said, like for 40 minutes or something, and till this day his daughters remember this story. And I saw so many women tear up, and it is kind of like, I wish, you know, everyone had a story like that from their childhood with their father. This just, I don't know, I really, really love this story, and it's so wonderful, it's so romantic. And this is the story about the cover. So the cover is almost, the cover is almost like true story, right? So this is a novel about Russell Greene, and he's 32, and he has like this wonderful life until he decides to go and work for himself, and then his wife decides to leave him, and he is he's left alone, I guess, with his I think 5-year-old or 6-year-old daughter, his young daughter. So it's a story about friendships, family supporting you, friendship supporting, like this is a very, very positive good read novel. It's quite thick, which I love in a book, and I look forward to reading this book because it's a new one. Okay, so let's move on to my my favorite author of thrillers of all time. Well, you know, Stephen King is out there. Yes, I know, and I read his stuff, and he is downright spooky, I must admit. But I love her stuff even more than Stephen King, I have to say it. And Stephen King itself says, like, if you're reading Tess Gerritsen, you should be prepared for a long night. So that means, you know, you will be reading through the night. This is a great novel from the Jane Rizzoli and Maura Isles, like from their from the novels, and I really loved her also. Like some people, some authors are shy or not so well spoken. I thought of her like she's the most well spoken person that I have seen. Well, Nicholas Sparks was also very well spoken, but I thought of her like she answered all of the questions that were posed to her very gracefully. She was one of those authors who inspire you to write, who inspire you to be a writer, who inspire you just by being themselves. She was like, I don't know, she was herself. It was you know, I don't know, it didn't seem practiced at all. Like those the questions seemed a bit random, and she answered them so I don't know, with such grace and such a lovely manners. She's kind of, I don't know, she's a role model, you know. I think she's a role model, and I really love her. It's Tess Gerritsen. She is I don't know, she's one of the best writers of this genre, and you should definitely read this if you the cover of this one though is different in the English version. It's the I Know Secret, I think the title is. Ik weet een geheim. It's the Dutch version. So read it, go buy it, and of course her autograph is also here. Yeah, for me, I mean, that means a lot. I really love it. Then I've got this one, and this is Dirk Bracke. It's Belgian author, and I don't know if his books are translated or not. I'm not sure. But if you speak Dutch, or you are learning Dutch, or you are inspired to learn Dutch, you should definitely read his books. Like he writes about, well, all of his characters are teenagers, but it's fiction that borders on non-fiction, because he always does his research very thoroughly. He speaks about, well, they are like typical teenage problems, but also he speaks about the things that are very difficult to talk about, like the taboos of our society. Like he also has a book about, well, various kinds of problems, and in various kinds of cities. I'm sorry, I think I'm not explaining it quite well, but he mixes fiction with non-fiction so well that you learning about, you know, you kind of see the world with a different kind of perspective. Not really his perspective, but the perspective of the people he had talked to. Like for example, there is a book about two lesbians, and it's written so well. I mean, you get immersed into that world, their experience of the world, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of unnerving because it's happening to you while you're reading it. And I love this kind of experiences. I love his books. I read all of his books. I really, and yes, I have respect for all the lesbians in the world. So I highly recommend this book if you are. What is it all about? This is a book about a teenager who gets HIV, and he finds out in a very unfortunate it has a very unfortunate timing, because he's in love with the girl, and they I think they had unprotected sex before he finds out that he's HIV positive. So it brings a whole lot of problems with it, and I won't spoil the book for you, but this is kind of like you get the problems that he's going through, you get the process that he's going through, you experience all those angst and all those fears and all those problems that he tries to battle in his journey. It's not a very, you know, I won't spoil the ending, but you just have to read it. I highly recommend it. I was under the spell of this book, I think for like a month after I have read it. So it's one of why I let it be signed, is because it was the first book that I have read from him, and I decided that I wanted to read everything he ever wrote, and I did. Like, there's a list. This is the list of his books, and I read all of them. So I highly recommend it. The title is Het Uur Nul. and you should read it. The author is Dirk Bracke again. Okay, so these were the 3 signed books that I got. Really good authors, really good stuff. I highly recommend them all. And my next 2 books are for my little pumpkin, for my little boy Richard. I'm sorry for the paper noise. This is like a little book with things that happen at night, and I love how it's illustrated. I love the flaps. I really love these books. I don't know how they are called, like the technical term of them, but I just love the look and the feel of them, and I love how you can just play with them and find like, you know, feel out the world through those books. I kind of my kid is now really fascinated with everything that has to do with night and everything that has to do with horror. I think it was because of the Halloween at school and stuff like that. So I never miss an opportunity to get his to spark love of books, and I try to get as much books as I can. We are also subscribed to a library, so we are regularly visiting the library, and I try to buy him books as much as I can. So this one is Flip Flap Nachtleven, so it's nightlife, I guess, and it's illustrated by Nicola Butler. And we have this one, and this is kind of fun because he has all those weird kind of noises like ooh and oh and grr. At this, so you have to like pull this thingy and then it will go off, but I'm not gonna do that right now because he wants he probably will want to do it himself. But look at this stuff. I mean, it's pretty spooky, right? And I hope he will like it. You have a witch here and a very weird creature here, and you have zombie Frankenstein, and you have like a skeleton and mummies and zombies and ghosts. This is a pretty awesome book to have if you like the spooky stuff, and I hope he will like it. So okay, this was my book haul. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button below. If you read or are about to read any of those books, please let me know. Please let me know if you like the same authors as I do, and maybe you had the pleasure of meeting them. Comment down below and I will love to read it. Okay, so as this was all that I wanted to share with you. Have a wonderful day or night or evening, and I'll see you next time. Bye!